What up, folks? Once again, it is indeed your boy Tim, the handsome liberal. Today, we're going to talk about something that still baffles the mind, particularly for us liberals. We're still confused in 2023 why we are dealing with this. This is indeed hovering around why Trump is being indicted in a number of jurisdictions. What we're talking about is the election results of 2020. What we're asking is why in 2023, nearly 3 years after the election, it does appear as if former President Trump still refuses to accept the results of that election. He is still suggesting that he not only won the election, but he won by a landslide, even though all of his surrounding cast says otherwise. So we're trying to find out what is making President Trump 3 years later, still believe he won the election. What is he basing that on? Everyone from the FBI to the Department of Justice to his own vice president telling him he lost. What is making him believe otherwise? That's what we're talking about. Looking in the comments, Ian71 says he's crazy. I don't think the former president is crazy, but that is funny. As always, the program is and shall forever remain MAGA friendly. This is a MAGA friendly program. Liberals are welcome as well, but MAGA are my preferred guests. I don't block, ban, or censor anyone for their commentary. So understand when you get in the box, when you're in the comment section, if you disagree with the host, nobody gives a damn. You think the host is full of shit, state that in the comments. But also state your point as to why you believe that. We won't ever accuse you of trolling or try to block, ban, or censor you. You have a right to state what you want to state. You have a right to free speech, and we will always preserve that here. So that's the question we're asking is, 3 years after the election, why is President Trump refusing to accept the results, regardless of how many members of his own administration, of his own surrounding cast, tell him he lost? What is it about that election that President Trump will not let go of that he absolutely believes he won? What is he basing that theory on? That's what we're talking about. Look it in the comments. Do you believe he is guilty of any of the 91 charges? I'm genuinely curious. Desmond135, I think several of the charges that President Trump is facing are pretty easy to either show lack of guilt or prove that he is guilty, such as the documents case. It's pretty easy to show, did he obstruct and refuse to give documents back, or did he do it? Now, there's a hell of a lot of his own members, like I said, surrounding cast, a lot of his own close associates at Mar-a-Lago that are suggesting that they're willing to testify that he was deliberately trying to give the FBI the runaround. He was deliberately trying to refuse to give the documents. So I think some of this stuff is easy for him to either prove his innocence or for the FBI to prove his guilt. I don't think the documents case is a winner for Trump at all. I mean, how hard is it to show you had this and this is not classified? Trump, if he wanted to prove his innocence, could say, yes, I had this, but here's the evidence, it's classified or declassified. If he cannot produce the evidence that is declassified, then he's guilty. If he produces it, then he's not. It is that simple. Now, I don't buy into the belief that you can think. Understand he told this to Sean Hannity on his program. I don't buy into the claim that you can think a document into declassification. If something is declassified, there has to be a record, a date and time stamp as to when it was officially declassified. It can't just pop up somehow 3-4 years later in his possession. Why declassified that? When did you do it, sir? You can't, yeah, so that part right there, I think it's pretty easy to prove he's innocent or prove he's guilty of. Looking in the comments, and by the way, appreciate you folks that are already tapping the screen, 400 plus of you in here. Start out, get your boy up to 10,000 likes. Why is it President Trump refuses to accept the 2020 election results? What is making him hold on to the belief that he not only won, but he won by a landslide. Where is the evidence? What is making him believe that when all of his surrounding cast, we're not talking about liberals, talking about a hell of a lot of members of his own administration, are all over television and social media saying he lost? What's making him have a difference of opinion? Pride, says Mike. You're saying he's white and he's proud. So in other words, President Trump is refusing to admit he lost due to pride. Could be, could be. Many cases of cheating in Michigan with my family and friends. D. Kurlak. Well, and I don't believe you'll ever have, and I'll go to the box after this. I don't believe in a nation of 350 million people you will ever have a fraud-free election. Golden Lion. Yeah! Appreciate the hat and mustache. I don't ever foresee an election in a nation of 350 million people as fraud-free. However, as I have stated on many occasions, proving that fraud took place is not an automatic jump to Trump won by a landslide. Even if you could prove it's Democratic fraud. You got to first prove fraud happened. Then you have to prove that it happened in favor of Democrats. Then you have to prove that it was sufficient enough that Trump would have won. I vote left. I could have cheated on on my voting ballot, but I'm only one vote. Just because I am a liberal that cheated does not mean a Republican won. If he was going to lose by, say, 10 votes, my one vote would not sway it. So you got to prove that first the Democrats cheated. Then you got to prove that you got to first prove that there was cheating. Then you got to prove that the cheating was in favor of the Democrats. Then you have to prove there was enough of it to change the election. Have you seen that much evidence as of now? Looking in the comments here, or better yet, going to the box, or whatever I'm doing here. I don't see what happened here. Let's go RICO. I don't know. Putting the RICO, a mob-like charge on President Trump, possibly overdoing it. And I'm hearing Chris Christie, which a hell of a lot of MAGA do not have any love for. He stated that the Georgia case was unnecessary, that it's almost a redundant case of what Jack White did. Because Jack White is also charging him with trying to steal the election. So according to Chris Christie, which a hell of a lot of you folks on the right hate, he's defending Trump on the Georgia case. He's also defending Trump on his first indictment out of New York, paying Stormy Daniels with campaign funds. So he's not totally hating on Trump. Two of those indictments, he's in favor of Trump prevailing. That's Chris Christie. Now, obviously, there's one big, huge, if you want to suggest that Trump has a hell of a lot of pride, one thing that's really going to be a historical embarrassment to the president, regardless of how this shit turns out. He is now going to be the first president in history to have a mugshot, to be fingerprinted, because they've already stated in Georgia that's what they're going to do. That's happening in about 8 days or so. He has until Friday of next week to turn himself in. My guess is he will, and most of those folks will turn themselves in late in the week, because that is the most effective time to limit your appearance in the news cycle. Most folks do not watch a lot of news over the weekend. So if you can turn yourself in on a Friday, you don't appear all over the damn nightly news. Ain't nobody watching news on a Saturday night. So it'll probably be on a Friday that most of them turn themselves in. Now, we're talking President Trump, so that's going to interrupt all of your news television broadcasts anyway. And people are going to put that shit on a T-shirt. How many of my liberals watching the program right now would be bold enough, brash enough to wear a President Trump T-shirt featuring his mugshot? Is there anybody in the audience right now that would even wear that shit? A T-shirt with President Trump's mugshot on it. Remember the phrase that we heard for years. I see folks in the comments saying, hell yeah, can't wait. Remember Lock Her Up? Remember the chants of Lock Her Up rallies all around the nation? Any chance that Hillary Clinton or members of her family may show up with that T-shirt on? Can you imagine Hillary Clinton showing up to any type of social program or news program with her famous cackle, that laugh she got very similar to Kamala Harris, wearing a t-shirt with Trump's mugshot on it. I just want to say that t-shirt with the mugshot on it is going to be everywhere. Looking in the comments, your orange master is going down. Yikes. Yikes. Tap the screen, get your boy up to 10,000. We are going straight to the box. Question is, why the hell is Trump still maintaining a different viewpoint of the 2020 election compared to virtually all of his associates and administration members? The life of Black Wing Zero. Good afternoon. Welcome to the program. What's up? Good afternoon.
Talk about this shit. You knew how much I hate Trump. I can't stand this rich cracker looking. I cannot stand him. He is the first president. No matter of fact, he's the second. He's the second because you've got to realize Richard Nixon almost went to jail too.
Yeah, but he didn't. But he didn't. But he did not.
He didn't. He didn't. He stepped down and shut the fuck up. Trump didn't shut the fuck up and did not step down. He could have went peacefully. He could have just said, fuck it. He could have damn stopped all this shit and just basically did a peaceful transfer of power. He did not do that. And neither did his fans. I don't even call y'all fucking ass patriots. Y'all are fucking bandwagons. Y'all worse than Tom Brady and New England Patriots fans.
Wait. You don't, but wait, hold on. You don't think that some folks identifying as MAGA supporting Trump, you don't think there's any legitimate reason to support Trump?
What to support? What to support? Okay, they keep on bringing up the HBCU funding bill. It wasn't an executive order. The prison reform bill. It wasn't an executive order. I keep on putting that in perspective. Second thing, they had to pass the House, the Senate, and the Supreme Court. When he signed both of those bills, he was up for re-election. He wanted 99% of the black vote. That's a true fact.
What about the economy? What about the economy under President Trump? $2 gas. You don't see anything good about that at all? Crystal, thank you.
We could have basically here's the thing. We could have deviated from big oil. We're the only country that didn't sign the Paris Agreement. You do realize that, right?
Yeah, but we're not in. Wait, hold on. We are not currently technologically in position to deviate from big oil yet. You can't have.
Other countries are, including Russia.
They're not.
Other countries are, including Russia.
They are not there yet.
New green jobs.
Black Wing, they are not there yet. You cannot have a semi truck delivering freight across this United States right now that's electric. That technology is not there yet.
There are damn diesel trucks running on. Here's the thing. I worked in security for 20 years. My first job was at a trucking stop for U.S. Foods.
How many of them were electric? How many of those trucks were electric when you were working there?
But they're biodiesel. We ain't even found biodiesel. You know what they run on? Oil, not even oil, corn oil. We have so much corn. We have so much corn in this damn country. We can turn it into fuel. We have so much peanuts in this country, we can turn it into fuel. We don't. We want to stick on this fossil fuel, and we complaining about it.
But why don't you understand why? If an average American family that can barely afford the car they got that runs off of fuel, and now you want to wean us off of fossil fuel, you're trying to force people to get cars that they can't afford right now. That's what Kamala Harris got in trouble for.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I live in California. What happened to PG&E? PG&E blew up a whole neighborhood from them fucking up on damn gas.
Okay.
Not only that, here's the thing. If I'm not mistaken, people from Louisiana, your whole damn fishing industry was almost destroyed by the BP oil spill. Tell me I'm lying.
No, we've had major oil spills. We can go as far back as Exxon Valdez, but at the same time, lithium batteries. There's been a hell of a lot of fires from that.
Here's the thing. And Exxon Gas did the biggest scam in this country. They still try to get them thousands of investors that basically invested in a company to give their money back. There are lawsuits going on today. So if we damn here's the thing, I understand it's gonna be a peaceful damn transfer, but we can't find a cleaner energies. Most of these houses that I live next to are going green. I mean solar. They going solar.
Well, okay, let's go to the next.
Many colleges in California got those damn panels as well. They went off the grid. including JC's. They said, I can't pay this. I can't pay PG&E. Guess what? I got, here's the thing. I had a damn outside contractor basically made my whole parking lot into damn
Okay.
solar panels, and they actually work.
Okay. Now, in regards to solar panels, for like I said, the average American family that is driving around in a fossil fuel vehicle that can barely get by, working 2 jobs to get by, you want them to buy an EV in a house full of solar panels. Where's the money going to come from?
I'm just going like this.
That question has to be answered. That question has to be answered. You can't skip over that.
Like I said, it ain't gonna be a peaceful transition of power when it comes down to clean energy. But I'm going like this. We do need to find a cleaner resource. We're becoming more polluted than China.
But you're not going to get what you want until that question I just asked is answered.
I don't know. That's the basic thing. I'm gonna be brutally honest with you. I don't know.
Well, until
it's just basically here's the thing. We're still stuck in industrial while every other country's going in informatics.
Okay.
That is a true here's the thing. That's the one thing I'm going like this. We can create more jobs if we go informatics. We should not be sending
I'm not disagreeing with the destination you're talking about. Where I'm having a problem is the journey to get there. People have to have money to make what you're suggesting happen, and you're not providing a way for them to get the money.
That's the whole point. Here's the thing. We don't have investors because we're so stuck on big oil. I'm going like this. We can literally create jobs from this damn if we sign the Paris Agreement. We're the only country that didn't. And Trump was president.
Well,
I'm going like this. When it came down to Trump. I'm still asking those damn stupid idiots that thought the vice president thought that can overturn the election during a pandemic, I might add. We were still under quarantine.
Well, the man said there was cheating.
Under quarantine. Here's the thing. I hope y'all asses got COVID. I'm saying I don't care if I get banned.
That is me. I'm gonna go ahead. I give you the last word. I gotta move on.
And not wearing for being stupid, not staying at home, not wearing a mask, and going to the Capitol building, thinking that the vice president can overturn the election. Your ass deserved to get stupid.
I gotta go.
Hey,
all right.
Forrest Gump said it best. Stupid is and stupid does, and I'm leaving it at that.
All right, Blackwing. Passionate opinion. As I say all the time, folks, I don't block, ban, or censor anyone for their commentary. Understand that MAGA are my preferred guests, but liberals are allowed to speak. It's all about free speech. I'm looking at the folks following on YouTube. Everyone on YouTube, it's only a handful of folks. All of you guys think the man should be in jail. Wow, not a lot of Trump supporters on YouTube, but 800 plus of you on TikTok. Tap the screen, get your boy up to 30,000 likes. We're talking about the 2020 election. Why the hell, 3 years later, come November, why the hell are we still at a point where President Trump refuses to accept the official results of that election? Even though his entire spear, most of the members of his administration and even his party are saying he lost. What is it about that election that's leading Trump to disagree with virtually everyone in existence in Washington? That's what we're talking about. 3 years later. Looking in the comments before we go to the box. Isa Augustin says Trump lost. 2020 is not over yet, bro. The truth will come out in Georgia. Well, the governor of Georgia, Governor Kemp, who is a Republican, just recently stated, I think yesterday or the day before, tweeted out, I'm going to clear this up. Trump lost. That is a Republican governor in that state. Just tweeted that out this week. What is it about the 2020 election that folks like, I didn't get his name, Les B. Ballin in the comments. What is it about that election that's leading folks to believe that there is still some truth to that election that will come out? 3 recounts in Georgia. Hand count, county by county count, a machine count. They recounted the votes 3 different times. Trump lost every time. What is going to come out? That's what we want to know. What is making Trump continue to suggest he won by a landslide? Going to the box. Appreciate you folks tapping the screen. Beer Can Dan. Good afternoon, Beer Can Dan. 3 years later, what's leading the former president to still believe he won by a landslide?
I don't know. I don't want to get into that. But hey, maybe I can offer some answers to your previous guest. And forgive me, I'm sick, okay? But
it happens.
He was talking about fossil and all that. And here's the thing. Solar panels, and just think about this. Let me put this out there. Have you ever walked up and stood beside a black car? How hot it is?
Right.
Solar panels are generally black in color.
Right.
Stand beside a pink car or a green car, not as hot, right?
Okay.
If all put solar panels up, what will happen to the temperature in the U.S.?
I disagree.
Just for people.
I disagree with that. I disagree with that quite a bit, and I'll tell you why. I'm an owner of solar panels. We all know heat rises. In solar panels, you can generally mount them up high, like on a roof. If you put solar panels on your roof, the heat's going to reflect up, not down into your house. I mean, and there's also a gap. There's also a gap between your panels and the structure they're on. So I don't think it's going to make a difference in heat.
Well, you're right. The gap there actually does help your house stay cooler. But what is called is heat columns. Okay? And a heat column is basically a column of heat that rises. That does affect the weather patterns. Okay? Now, to what extent, I can't tell you because I'm not a weatherman.
Yeah, I don't.
But it does affect it. And I'm just saying, if we put solar panels across all the U.S., then there's going to be a lot more heat columns.
Yeah, I don't, and listen, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, we can agree to disagree. I drove across the country, for instance, in a vehicle where I had solar panels lined across the entire roof, and it didn't cause me any issues inside. As you pointed out, it even gave my vehicle shade that I was in. So I don't know if I agree with that. Now, if the entire U.S. is covered in solar panels, maybe, but that'll never happen.
And I agree. I don't think it'll happen either. But that's what I was saying. I was just something I want people to think about. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Solar panels can be good. They can be good. I agree with that.
You got to give a better negative than that. You got to give a better negative than what about if the entire U.S. was covered in solar panels? That's taking it to the extreme.
The only other negative to solar energy is where you have to have battery storage. And the lithium batteries, well, we all know they're not good for the environment. We all know that.
You don't, let me interrupt you. When I had my vehicle, lithium is the best batteries to have for storage because they can deep cycle and charge over and over again. But I did it with alkaline batteries. You don't have to have lithium batteries.
That's true. Unfortunately, I think more people are trying to go the lithium. But
okay.
All that. This is something I want people to think about. I'm not saying it's bad. We do need to get more, we do need to find alternative ways to save fuel. And there's a gentleman in Canada, Edison Motors. Do you know who he is?
Edison Motors?
Yes.
No.
What he has done is he took a diesel powered generator, put that into a truck. Okay, that diesel generator, his row of batteries, I think he has 12 batteries. That's what actually gets the truck going off the line. Once the truck is rolling, the generator takes over. It is actually the most fuel efficient form of transportation. It's been proven by the train industry.
Yeah.
It's the exact same setup trains use.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem. Here's the problem with this stuff. For folks who are promoting we remain on fossil fuels because the alternative energies are not there yet. If some of these ideas had not been stifled by big oil, because folks have been trying to develop more fuel efficient engines and power sources for quite a while before they moved to windmills and solar panels and all this shit. But the fossil fuel companies have been known, there's tons of rumors of them purchasing patents and throwing them away so that this stuff could not happen. So they've literally shot themselves in the foot to the point where people have basically said, well, screw trying to make better fossil fuel engines. And they came up with whole new items. It's kind of late for the stuff you're suggesting. That's the problem.
Well, trying to make a better fossil fuel engine is extremely difficult, and I don't see it really happening. But what the train industry does is they use a diesel generator, so only one locomotive is actually operating on diesel.
Okay.
The other 6 are feeding off the electricity produced, so they can move 600 cars from A to B.
All right.
That's what makes them efficient. And Edison is trying to do that with semis now, which is good, because if once he gets it fully developed, I have no doubt you'll see a semi, 80,000 pound gross, go coast to coast on 100 gallons of fuel.
Assuming Big Oil doesn't buy the patent and stop it. But I got to move it on, country. Appreciate you coming in, man.
I'm saying, but check him out, okay? Edison Motors.
Edison
He's
Motors.
on TikTok.
All right. Appreciate you coming in. Okay, fair enough. And I seen somebody on YouTube suggest that there is a Toyota that was developed that could get 129 miles per gallon. The problem I have with this stuff is exactly what I was telling the last caller, is that Big Oil realizes that their days are numbered. And so all of these more efficient forms of technology is coming out. You should have let this shit come out in the 70s and 80s when you could have actually made some progress with it. But they were continuing to keep us on inefficient energy to keep making money. And now folks found a whole new way around them. And now they're like, well, let me tell you about this engine I got. That always have been there. They could have been done this stuff. So it's kind of late. I'm not saying that stuff may not have use somewhere here or there, but if they had let that stuff become known of maybe a generation or two ago, people wouldn't be looking at solar and wind power and all this stuff as much as they are. But fact is, the fossil fuel market has been continuing to gouge us. Look at what's going on right now. President Biden taking a hell of a lot of flack for the fact that fuel prices are higher. He's the president. He should be blamed to some degree. But look at it, what's really happening from a logical standpoint. Under Biden, we're moving away from fossil fuels. So that means with more electric cars on the street, fewer citizens are requiring fossil fuel. Yet the price of gas is going up. The demand for it is dropping, but yet the price is going up. That does not fit any of the supply and demand theories you've ever heard about. So clearly the fossil fuel companies have a hell of a lot to do with why you're paying more at the pump. It's not because the demand is greater. You're going to tell me under Biden the demand for fossil fuel haven't dropped at all? That's clearly not true. So looking in the box, we'll keep it moving, because we're asking about the 2020 election. Why is it that President Trump, despite everyone around him telling him he lost the 2020 election, nearly 3 years later come November, why is he still adamantly stating he won by a landslide? What is leading President Trump this late in the game to still suggest that he won the 2020 election? And if he did, why are there so many Republicans lost? Going to the box. Electric Wolf, 45. Good afternoon. Welcome back. Wolf, you the man to talk to on this. Why is Trump refusing to accept what everybody is telling him?
Well, the key word that you kept saying was everybody in Washington, Republicans in Washington. We don't care about Republicans in Washington. We don't care what they have to say.
Well,
that's the problem. Trump, there's people. See, the thing that well, I know you understand this, but I mean, Trump, people that support Trump and stuff like that, are God that everybody says and stuff like that. The thing is, again, it's not that it was Trump. It's just the fact that Trump has turned out to be the victim. He's the one that got hammered the whole presidency with the impeachment, with all the lies, everything else. And then now, after he's president, they're still going after him. For what? Why? Why is he so special? that they have to just hit him with everything, and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna charge him with this, and we're gonna charge him with that. They're just trying to muddy up
But what's so unique? This is something I often say, and I don't necessarily disagree with you that people go after Trump gung ho, sometimes politicized and sometimes wrong. But I have to ask, what is so unique about President Trump? After he got elected, he continued going after Hillary Clinton. He had beat her. And he continued going after her. He still talks about Obama. I always say that no matter how bad what's happening to Trump is, everything he claims that is happening to him, all you have to do is concentrate for a minute and you realize he did that to somebody else just the same. Why did he do it to other people?
I kind of see that. I kind of see your point, but not really. And the only reason I don't see your point is due to the fact that you didn't see him going and directing and weaponizing his Justice Department and going after him. All he did was talk shit to him.
But why is he doing that? Why is he even doing that? Why is he talking shit about somebody he defeated?
Well, because it's our First Amendment. He has a right to gloat. You realize that when he won the presidency, everybody, I can't believe all the people, all the Hollywood people aren't being brought up in charges when they tried to change the electors. Remember when they put out an ad for that? Remember
putting out an ad is
to change their mind?
Remember
all that?
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to tell you is that I'm not saying that some of the things happening to Trump isn't politicized or isn't biased against President Trump. But what I'm saying is when you do what he did, you can get what he got. Now, you're talking about he had the First Amendment right to talk shit. I agree. I'm a big proponent of free speech. However, I'm sure you understand free speech comes with consequences, right?
Well, yeah, but see, this is where you're flipping it though. You're acting like if Trump is getting this turned on him because he's the one that started it. He didn't start it. The only thing is people were talking shit about him. He turned back around and talked shit about them. He tried to have a good relationship with the media. The media started talking shit to him. He's like, "Yeah, you know what? Fuck you. I'm gonna talk shit about you." And then he starts talking shit about them, and they're all offended. Like, "Oh my God, how can he talk to us like that? Doesn't he realize we're the press?"
So you see Trump talking shit about people purely as a defensive measure. You don't think he ever started any fights?
I don't think so. I mean, he might have said some, how do you say it, some off-color stuff to people. But I mean, even when with all the Republicans that were, the 79 Republicans that were running for president and stuff like that, they're the ones that went after him. And then he talked to Jeb, like when he fucking turned Jeb Bush into a mush. I mean, it was just because Jeb Bush was trying to be like, "Oh, but
let me give you an example. Let me give you an example, and you can tell me however you feel about it. President Trump gets sued, and a regular judge receives the case. Judges have no control over the cases they receive. All of a sudden, Trump is out tweeting that this judge cannot adjudicate my case because he's a Mexican. Is that self-defense, or is he attacking an innocent man?
Well, I think he was talking about, he didn't say because he's a Mexican. He said his Hispanic heritage.
Is he attacking an innocent man? Right? Is that self-defense?
He was a Democratic judge, right?
No, but is that self-defense to criticize a judge simply because he was born Hispanic? Or did that judge deserve that?
No, I don't think he deserved it, but I mean, I don't think he either did or didn't deserve it. It was just him talking shit again.
Wait. He didn't.
He was being proactive. I agree. He started it.
Thank you.
He started the thing, but the thing is and I do see that point, and I like I said, he's not perfect, and I've never said he's a god or anything like that.
You said he only acts in self-defense.
Not all. No, most of the time, yeah. But because you have to understand also, Handsome, is the thing is this guy has been hammered ever since he started running. Ever since and not like all the other politicians have been hit either. I mean, this guy was being hammered from everywhere, even from Republicans and independents. Like everybody, like, oh well, the Cheneys and stuff like that. Of course, Cheney's gonna hate him because of the fact that he's anti-war.
What about so Trump suggesting that Barack Obama was born in Kenya for several years on end? That was in self-defense.
We had this discussion.
But was that in self-defense, or was he messing with Obama?
I think he was fucking with him, yeah.
Okay, so that wasn't self-defense either.
Well, yeah, but he wasn't running for president then either.
It doesn't matter. You think if you got beef with me, and I get elected to become president, the beef goes away?
Well, no, and
Right.
that's the thing. That's what drove Obama nuts, is that he won because you know how he stood there all arrogant and shit on the podium. Well, I don't think a person like Mr. Trump will be voted in, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And then he gets voted in. And then everybody lost their freaking mind. It was beautiful. And then after that, they should have just said, okay, screw it. He's the president. Let's see what we can do. Let's give him some shit, but let's see what we can do with the government. Nope. They just had to screw it.
So they should have said,
over and over.
so they should have said he got elected. Let's just give him a chance and let him keep going around the country saying Hillary Clinton should be locked up. The Democrats should have just ignored that. All of the Barack Obama. So we should have gave Trump the benefit of the doubt. Hold on, hang on.
Okay, did he
So
not
wait a minute. Let me finish the sentence. What you're saying is once Trump got elected, we should have kept quiet, gave him the benefit of the doubt, and just let him go around the country insulting the hell out of us.
Yeah, let him hang himself. But the thing is, you couldn't. You guys couldn't. The thing is, you had to go after electors. You had to call him illegitimate. You had to call him Russia collusion. You had to call him a Russian plant. You had to call him a German candidate. You had to call him all anti-American that you possibly could, due to the fact that he didn't weaponize the government against Hillary Clinton, did he? All he did was point out all the illegal shit she did. And you guys still don't want
Wait, that's the problem, though. But that is the problem. Hillary Clinton did not get her day in court. She did not receive due process. So why is he going around? Wait a minute, no. She did not receive.
What do you want?
I'm asking you a question. She did not receive due process. Trump did not have her investigated or charged with a crime. Why is he suggesting a person who has never been found guilty of anything should be locked up?
Because she was covered up for. Come on, handsome. You know she's a crooked, evil person. But the thing is, you're going to take care of your own. That's why I tell you about the Democratic Party. They always rally, but they're okay.
Aren't you doing the same?
Okay, as long as criminals are on their side.
In regards to taking care of your own, aren't you doing exactly the same thing?
Well, you know what? If he was guilty, if I felt that any of this was justifiable, I'd be like, you know what? Fuck this guy. But you can't. It's so obvious. It's so obvious that this guy is being set up on all these ridiculous charges that we should be moving on other stuff. But they have him on.
Then how do you? Let's take what you said. Let's take that as I'm not even disputing that. But let me ask you: when you say that, what you said, how would you respond if I said the same thing about Hillary Clinton? If I thought all this was justifiable by having her found guilty in a court of law, I would be okay with you yelling "lock her up." But she hasn't been found guilty of a single crime, yet you're constantly demanding she be thrown in jail. You don't see anything wrong with that.
No, I don't, because of the fact that the way I look at it, she is a criminal. Everything she's done is criminal, but the thing is, you guys see it like, oh, well, she was never charged. Of course she's not going to get charged. She's not going to get charged because all the Democrats, the FBI, they're talking about all these FBI people that they let her off the hook. Well, of course they let her off the hook. They were all in on it.
Trump promised to drain the swamp. He took office with a Republican House and Senate. Why wasn't Hillary Clinton, if she's that guilty, why didn't he do what he promised and lock her up?
Well, because that wouldn't be right for him to direct and weaponize the Justice Department. But the problem is the people inside the Justice Department are sycophants. They're all into the Democratic Party. They're not going to go after their own. They're going to find. Look at all the things they did for 100.
You really believe that? So in other words, Trump wasn't going to weaponize the justice system or do anything and go after her. He was just going to go around town having his supporters believe he was going to do that.
Yeah, no, he didn't. The thing is the only reason they said that he was going to investigate her was when he said it at the debate. When she said, "Oh, well, how come this is why we don't have him? This is why, because you'd be in jail."
What is the?
Like, oh shit! He really said that shit to her.
So what is the purpose? Let me ask you this: what is the purpose of going around the country yelling "lock her up" if you know you're not going to do a damn thing about it?
Because first of all, he wasn't saying lock her up. The people were. Now, on top of that,
yeah, he was. He was saying it too.
We know that she's guilty. We know that they're scumbags. We know that they broke the law.
You're not
We know
answering
they
it.
stole money
You're
from
not
the Navy.
answering the question though. You're making it clear that he wasn't going to weaponize the DOJ, but at the same time, you're saying Hillary Clinton definitely deserved to be in prison. Here we elect a man that has made it clear, I'm going to drain the swamp and get rid of the bad people. Here's a bad person, according to you, right in his face, and he chooses not to do anything about it. That doesn't make sense to me.
It's not that he chose not to do anything about it. He let the Justice Department do whatever they were going to do. Everything that Biden says that he's doing with his Justice Department is what Trump did. Trump said, look, there you go, do this, blah, blah, blah. These guys are scumbags, go at them. Nothing.
You
Can't find anything.
According to you, you got an ultra guilty person like Hillary Clinton right in front of you.
Yep.
Your Justice Department is not making a move at all on somebody who is super guilty, and you just stand by as a person promising to drain the swamp and do nothing.
Yeah, but he can't, as president, it wouldn't look good for him to do that.
You really believe Trump does things based on who thinks he looks good?
Well, on some of the things, yeah. I mean, look at the George Floyd. When all that shit with George Floyd went down, what did he say? What did he say?
You've lost me to the point where I don't even know how to respond. Go ahead and tell me what you're about to say.
Because you can't hate him, Hanson. That's why. Just vote.
All right. I got to move it on, Wolf. You know it's always good talking to you.
Good talking to you. Don't forget to vote for him, all right?
Good luck with that. He may not even be on the ballot. All right, going back to the box. It's stupid, that's why. Baidu says, Jay, you guys are mean to my guests. Tap the screen. 1,100 of you guys. I appreciate the fact you guys are rolling. You could be anywhere, so I'm always glad to have you here. If you do enjoy civilized dialogue like you just witnessed, both sides of the aisle, nobody's getting blocked, nobody's getting banned. Hell, we don't even have a moderator here. That is how much we are in favor of free speech. Nobody's moderating your shit unless you get completely out of hand. So we allow folks First Amendment free speech rights here. You don't have to agree with the host. Understand that. Tap the screen. Get your boy to 40,000 likes. Thanks for quality dialogue, says JPJ on YouTube. Appreciate that compliment. Take it as an honor. Going to the comments. This guy has endless excuses for Trump. I'm not going to speak on that. I like that comment, though. How do you do this, handsome? Show enough. Shout out to the last dragon, Bruce Leroy. Show enough. Listen, I got more patience than a hospital. I believe in hearing the other side. I hear a lot of good stuff sometimes coming from MAGA, Trump supporters, conservatives, Republicans. I don't think they're all bad. I don't think all liberals are good. I think both sides should be heard. This is how we have dialogue. This is how we come to opinions and agreements sometimes. When folks get only in their camp, that's how stereotypes, often racism, all of that shit happens when you don't have experience with each other. I try to run a program where we can talk to each other. We're not always going to agree, but I'm going to let you speak. Going back to the box. Somebody said because he's full of it. Andy, welcome back to the program. Andy, why won't Trump, former President Trump, why will he not accept the 2020 election results nearly 3 years later?
Narcissist and ego?
Is it just ego, though? I mean, is it possible that even after all of this, he actually believes he won?
His own niece said that, he was a narcissist and he would never accept defeat. So, I mean, if his own family's saying it.
Yeah, but you could be a narcissist and truly think you could still be a narcissist and truly think you won, though, right?
Yeah, but I don't think he did. I don't think he actually thinks he won. His daughter told him. I mean, everybody in his cabinet told him. He wants to be president again, and I'm pretty sure this is a Roger Stone special anyway. I don't think Trump set any of this up. I think Roger Stone is the mastermind. Trump's not that smart.
So at the end of the day, do you think there's a chance? I mean, I get hundreds of folks on here every week. And in fact, we know Trump still has millions, tens of millions of supporters. You think he could possibly do it again? 47th president of the United States?
According to two lawyers at the Federalist Society and several other high-up lawmakers, that it violates the 14th Amendment of the Constitution if he is found guilty in Georgia. So no, he won't be able to run. He won't even be able to be on the ballot.
You're saying if he's, well, we got 41 charges. I don't know. I don't think all of those charges prevent him from running. We'd have to figure out which charges of those 41, because
And I'm very unhappy with the people that have not read the indictments, because we have even had part of his cabinet come on and said he was going to use the military against us. That's in the Jack Smith charges.
You know, and that's
that's in Jack Smith charges.
You know, and that's the thing is that, and I see somebody in the comments saying, I can't vote if I'm a felon, but I can become president. Makes no sense. How do you respond? Because I thought that was pretty interesting too, that if the system believes you are so socially irresponsible that you do not deserve to have access to a ballot, but you can actually run the nation's highest office, how do you view that?
I view that as wrong. I don't think you should be able to run from prison or serve from prison. But I also think it's wrong because when you serve your time, you're supposed to have served your time to society. You did what you were supposed to do, and you should get your rights back when you get out. That's just wrong.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that at all, is that we tend to continue punishing felons and things like that. But certainly, if you are not worthy of a ballot, you shouldn't be worthy of the office. And in my humble opinion, I think after Trump is gone, they're not going to do it now because Trump is still in the running. But after he is gone, you're going to get some laws that are going to be probably named after President Trump, such as you can't run the nation's highest office from jail. You can't pardon yourself or interfere with any type of investigation of you personally. Like I said, they're not going to do it now because he's in the running. But after he's out of the way, whether he passes away, decides not to run for office anymore, or if the criminal justice system prevents him, I think you'll easily have bipartisan support. Because before Trump was around, if any senator or congressperson tried to pass a law on the floor that said a felon can't be president, I think everybody would have agreed with it. It's just now because Trump is in the way.
Well, actually, I think the only people that would disagree now are the Freedom Caucus. In reality.
Why though? Why would you?
And that's because they're trying to save their behinds from January 6th too. They know. Look, there are 30 unnamed co-conspirators.
Yeah, I mean, there's
indicted co-conspirators. I'm betting Marjorie Taylor Greene, Matt Gaetz, Chuck Grassley, and all because they're still sitting in office are all on those unindicted co-conspirators.
This could be a mess. But what about the notion that if Trump, because many believe that this stuff is not all going to come to a conclusion before the election. If he wins, this goes away, right?
No.
The federal charges do not go away?
You cannot pardon yourself in the state level.
No, but the majority of his charges are not state. And there is obviously going to be filings because it is an election issue with a federal election. They're going to try to have the Georgia case put in federal court. They may not succeed, but they are going to file to have the Georgia case put in the federal jurisdiction.
I'm pretty sure they already said no, didn't they?
No, it hasn't been done yet. He just got indicted. He hasn't even shown up for the arrest yet.
It's not going to happen. I don't see it happening. I do not see Fani Willis letting go of that case. I do not see them making her let go of that case. If they would have already pulled her from the case. And they're all Republicans. I don't even know why they're blaming this on Democrats. It's Republicans testifying against him. It's Republicans who are indicting him in Georgia. I mean, this is a whole Republican show.
What about the notion that Biden is somewhere at the top of the pyramid pulling the strings and making these people go after Trump? Do you see that anyway at all?
Their mind. Is he so demented that he can't run the country, or is he such a brilliant mastermind that he can pull all this off, puppeting all this other stuff? Which is it? Because it can't be both. I mean, they can't have it both ways. I read comments all day long about how he's demented and how he's slow, but then I turn around and he is the mastermind of everything.
I was going to say, that's exactly what I was going to say. He has dementia. He can't string together two sentences, doesn't know where he's at, but he's able to coordinate all of the federal officials to work together and go after Trump. Either like you said, either he's a mastermind or he's out of his mind. He can't be both simultaneously.
Right. And look, I think that they just want somebody to blame because they don't want to admit they voted for somebody that turned out to be this way.
So let's go above all of that.
To the guy in the comments that he can't possibly be responsible for any of this stuff going on with Trump, so y'all can get off of our back.
Okay, let me go above and beyond. Well, first of all, user in the comments, I found your page today, and I'm glad I did. I'm glad to have you here. Appreciate that. Let's go above all of the claims and allegations that Trump is a criminal. Taking that off the table, if Trump was to get reelected, would the United States really be that bad off? What would America be like if he got reelected?
Have you read the 2025 Project? Have you seen littlepatriotslearning.com? Have you seen the Heritage Foundation's plan for this country? Women won't have rights. And I'm guessing if they take women's rights, they want to go back to the 13th Amendment. Who else doesn't have rights?
But is it a notion that Trump wants to take away women's rights, or is that something that the liberals are trying to do
Alabama
to fearmonger?
Constitution written in 2022 does not give women's rights. Alabama is normally the blueprint for every bad thing that goes out on the Republican Party, and if they
but we've already
women didn't have rights.
But we've already had 4 years of Trump. Did he really give you the belief that he was trying to take rights away from women? We know they lost the right to choose in a lot of Republican states, but outside of that, did he really lead you to believe, President Trump, that he was trying to take away women's rights?
He's not going to get elected without these groups. I mean, Trump got elected because of the evangelical vote. So, yeah, he's going to do it. They have a plan for all Republicans that are going into office to follow this mandate they've got. And this Seven Mountain Mandate, first of all, they need to read the Bible, because that was about the Israelites, not about this country or anything to do with them. They want to take over social media. They want to take over, and those are two different things. Our social lives are the media on TV. They want us to be this fundamental Christian nation.
That is true. Obviously. I definitely believe the Republican Party wants to put Christianity in everything. I agree with that. I do got to move it on, but I will tell you this. When you're on, the comment section goes nuts. I see somebody in the comments, right back to back. Fatboy Slim says, "I love her. She's so smart," referring to you. Right before him, we got Croc saying, "I bet this lady has 32 cats." Do you have 32 cats?
No, I have 2 cats, and they are very expensive rag dolls that take lots of keep. And I have a husband who loves me, that we've been together for 20 years, so y'all can cut the crap. I don't care about what y'all think. And, maybe I'm good for them because people love me and people hate me. That's always been my personality. And you know what? It must mean I'm doing something right.
And we love to have you here. Appreciate you coming in, Andy. Catch you on the next one. Absolute. All right, looking in the comments, 32 cats. That was 32. Who has 32 cats in their possession simultaneously? Talk about the smell of piss. All right, looking in the comments, I don't think Trump was thinking those things when he was president, but now it's all about revenge. LS 1886. There is no shortage of folks, certainly liberals, but Republicans as well, such as Chris Christie. Understand my beloved MAGA have no love for Chris Christie at all, but he has stated that if Trump wins, it's going to be a campaign of revenge. How many of you folks think that? Yours truly, I absolutely believe that. Trump demands loyalty. By way of yes or no, do you believe if Trump is reelected, he's going to have a presidency full of taking revenge on his adversaries? Folks who spoke negatively of him, folks who believed he should be impeached, folks who believed he should be incarcerated. How many of you folks think that Trump is above doing all that and will think and do what's best for this country, as opposed to taking revenge on his adversaries? I see virtually everybody in the comments saying either yes or I hope he does. So the Democrats believe he will do it. The Republicans are suggesting we hope he actually does that. I didn't see one no. I didn't see one no in the comments. What would America be like if the commander-in-chief decided to take revenge on everybody? Remember, the whole claim is that President Trump, we've seen Electric Wolf. I'll go back to the box, but you see my Electric Wolf, who supports President Trump, stated that he didn't lock Hillary Clinton up because he didn't want to weaponize the justice system. He didn't want to be petty. But if you all believe if he gets reelected, he's going to take revenge on his adversaries, you think that won't involve weaponizing the justice system? You really believe that? If he's taking revenge on people, he's going to use the justice system to do that. How will the country be if the president is deliberately firing shots at all his adversaries? Some argue that that's the reason why most of the Republican contenders are not attacking him now, is because they fear if he gets reelected, their hide is going to be on the line. Other than Chris Christie, there's not a lot of folks saying a lot negative about President Trump, even though he's way the hell out in front. How the hell can you compete with somebody by not talking about them when they're going through some of the most troubling times any president in history has ever went through? You think if Ron DeSantis was out front facing 114 indictments, President Trump would be quiet on it, wouldn't be saying shit, talking about how he would pardon Ron DeSantis if Ron DeSantis would? You think Trump would do something like that? Vivek Ramaswamy, if I can get his name correct, as I already stated, if he gets reelected, he's going to pardon President Trump. Now, I understand a lot of folks believe Trump is being railroaded. You're entitled to that opinion. Maybe he is in some cases. However, offering to pardon someone before even hearing the case that the courts have to present shows you're biased. They may present shit that you never heard or even thought about. But I'm already going into court knowing I'm going to pardon the man no matter what they say. How is that not biased? If you want to say the liberals are biased, the Democrats are biased, the DOJ is biased, but you make a statement like that, how are you any different? Tap the screen, get your boy up to 50,000. There's over 1,000 of you in here. Going back to the box, we'll keep it moving with Takesha Blue. Oh, wait, I haven't talked to Takesha in a while. I know I'm going to get my ass torn, get my ass handed to me, but it's always a pleasure to talk to Takesha. Talk to me. What gripe do you have with me today? Thank you, Andy. Talk to me.
I don't have a gripe. I don't have a gripe with you at all.
I didn't do nothing wrong?
I was passing by, and I saw your subject, and I said, well, maybe I will grace him with my presence today and chime in. See how nice I'm coming in?
I like it.
Because I already showed out on Zeus this morning, so I'm trying to calm down.
So let me ask you then, for your humble, calm, respected opinion, why won't Trump nearly 3 years later accept the results of the 2020 election?
Well, first, let me say this. I'm going to need Wolf to take some of that electricity away because it has fried his brain. So he don't even know what common sense is. Let me just say that. But listen, there are two characteristics of a narcissist that Trump holds. The first one is they cannot accept rejection. And the second one is they are master manipulators. Now, Trump doesn't want to accept the fact that more Americans than less rejected him as becoming the president again. So in his mind, that's the worst thing that can ever happen. Someone didn't want Trump. You know, that's why he probably did what he did to E. Jean McCarroll, because he just couldn't understand a woman not wanting him, you know, probably after she heard about.
On an aircraft? You tried to holler at a woman on a plane and she rejected you, so you sexually assaulted her?
No, I said in the dressing room.
Oh, damn, that's still bad. Yeah, that's still bad.
She had already looked at him and saw the slack in the front of his pants and realized that there was nothing there. So she didn't want him, but he forced himself on her.
I thought women said size didn't matter.
Oh, size matters.
Oh.
There is no ocean in that motion, and the ship has turned into a little tugboat. So what I'm saying is this, handsome. He couldn't accept rejection. So what he's doing now, we're going to call him Mike Lindell Jr. Because now you want to have a symposium next week where you're going to show us all this proof that you want If you had all this proof, you would have been showed it. Why didn't you take it to court with you when you were fighting your cases? All of a sudden, 3 years later, you got all this proof. This is a Mike Lindell affair. He's going to be in there selling Trump t-shirts, Trump hats. You're going to have to pay to get in, and it's going to end up being a big ball of nothing but a grift for him.
What about the mugshot? Do you think the city of Atlanta or the county of Fulton is mistreating Trump by taking a mugshot of a president? Do they really need to do that?
He's not the president. He's a citizen.
But do they really need to take a mugshot of him?
If I went, they would mugshot me. He has no more privilege. He is not a president anymore. We're listen. He ought to be glad we still let him have the Secret Service after he done sold our secrets.
That's a good point. That's a good point, because I thought about that. And that's what I said earlier. I said there's going to be a lot of laws come out the pipe once Trump is out of the way. And I do, just like if you work at a job and you screw up or steal, you can lose your pension. You should be able to lose. And I'm not just talking specifically towards Trump. But if you're found guilty of a crime to the United States, you should lose your Secret Service protection. I'm not.
You don't need Secret Service. What you need Secret Service for? You done sold us out.
Well, you still need it though. You still need it though.
Let the MAGA be his Secret Service.
They may. MAGA may be better Secret Service for him than the actual Secret Service organization.
Ain't nobody scared of MAGA, but MAGA would they look at their own shadow and think it's somebody following them.
I don't know. Mike Pence and.
I'm gonna say it again. Ain't nobody scared of MAGA, but MAGA of their own shadow when they think it's somebody else following them. Now I'm done. Ain't nobody scared of MAGA.
I don't know, but Mike Pence and McCarthy looked pretty damn scared on January 6th when they were running around.
Listen, did you just get the names of who you said?
Yes, I did.
Okay, that's gonna be the end of that. Now, the people that still believe the election is stolen is because Trump has manipulated them into believing the election was stolen. So they're hanging their hats, their coats, their shoes, and everything on this man. So they're just believing what he said. They really think that this case in Georgia and the Jack Smith case is going to prove election fraud. That's not what they're going to court for.
No, they're not. And you're correct about it. And Michael Preston, I see you on YouTube saying I may love this woman. But no, you're correct. When they get into court, it's about what Trump is being charged for. It's not about letting him rant and rave.
To prove if no election was stolen.
Right.
These people have lost their ever-loving mind. It's over. The election was not stolen. Stop it. Move on. The only thing Trump should have did was came out and say, hey, y'all, listen, we lost this time. Let's get prepared and go ahead and get ready for the next election so we can get back in and I can finish doing what I thought I was doing that I really wasn't doing. Anyway, so, that's what he should have done. But because he's a narcissist who can't accept rejection, he kept on with the foolishness.
So how do you respond? How do you respond to someone like Brownsbacker in the comments when you talk about Trump should have moved on? He says, tell Stacey Abrams that, or folks who talk about Al Gore, Hillary Clinton. They all claim the election was stolen from them too.
When them folks ain't still talking.
Hillary Clinton said it recently. She's still saying it a little bit.
But when has she said it before now?
She ain't saying it to the.
When was the last time you heard her say it?
Yeah, she said it not long ago. That's what I'm talking about. It ain't been.
Okay, but what I'm saying before then.
Okay.
When is she going around
yes.
every time somebody interviewing her? When is she still talking about a stolen election?
Yeah, no, she's not. Yeah, she's not saying it. No one is saying the election was stolen to the level of President Trump. I do agree with that.
Every time Trump goes somewhere with that toupee swaying in the wind, hypnotizing them folks at them rallies, he bringing up a stolen election. Now he a sweathead round here done told these lies on these black women. They done been threatening everything. Now he done brought his sweathead self out and said that he lied. Okay, but you know what I said, Hanson? If they had walked up to my door, they'd have been crawling from it. If they had came to my house to try to get me to lie about making an election go Trump way, that she ain't got the right black folk in her family.
You said he's at the rallies hypnotizing.
That little toupee, because you know it's like a visor. And when it get there, it stick out a little further, and it sway in the wind. And every time it sway one way, their eyes go one way. And then it sway again, their eyes go the other way. So he hypnotizing them with that little hood on that toupee. And then they lead there and they...
So you're basically saying his hair swings back and forth like a hypnotic locket.
Yes, and that's what's wrong with them.
I gotta go. All right, let me move it on, girl. You are crazy. Oh my God. All right, Takesha never disappoints. I hadn't talked to her in a couple of days. She usually comes in and disappears if she don't get picked quick. I wanted to grab her the other day, but I do appreciate you holding on there, Takesha. Looking in the comments. Ashley O'Mara, you says, answer me. Post your question again. I didn't see it. I don't want to come across like the cars. Don't answer me. No, I will answer. Let me see what you posted. No Keeper On says, we got to let folks speak. This is a MAGA friendly program. We can't have any side dominating the program, but we're always MAGA friendly. If you do enjoy civilized dialogue, both sides of the aisle, without any fear of being blocked, banned, or censored by the host, you are in the right place. I encourage you to follow the program. For those on YouTube, perhaps subscribe. Always a pleasure having you here. Y'all so busy talking about Trump, but never talk about the shit show of the Democrats. That is true. That is true. You don't hear liberals bitching about Trump bitching about Biden, even though the liberals are not big fans of Biden. And I've said this numerous times that while Biden's poll numbers are low, even with liberals, Republicans are not seizing on the opportunity and putting in a more favorable, moderate candidate. As opposed to doing that, they're forcing it to become a lesser of two evils election. As unfavorable as Biden's poll numbers are right now, they're proposing a candidate with equally unfavorable numbers, when they could easily put somebody up who's a bit more moderate, win this election right now, and take over power again. I don't understand it. But that's why liberals are not talking about Biden and the shit show, is because you're giving us an alternative that is more worthy of discussing. You can easily put somebody up more moderate, and then Hunter Biden would be the discussion, or Biden being tied to his son would be the discussion. But you're giving us a guy with 114 indictments. He's going to get discussed. That is something you guys are not seizing on the opportunity. Kind of, as they say, snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. You don't have to put this guy up. You could put somebody up less inflammatory and then cause everybody to focus on Biden. You're choosing to put up literally the most inflammatory candidate you have, and it's gathering attention. Tap the screen, get your boy up to 60,000 likes. I do appreciate that. Appreciate you folks tuning in. And yeah, Reese, yeah, that it's becoming a choice of pick the lesser of the evils. A lot of just like there's not a lot of love for Biden among liberals, there is a hell of a lot of Republicans that do not like Trump either. Before Ron DeSantis moved so far to the damn right, he would have been the perfect candidate for Republicans to put forth. He's went too far to the right now in effort to impress MAGA. But if you had to put Ron DeSantis up 7-8 months ago, and he didn't get involved in all these additional culture wars and all of that shit, you would have had a candidate with no indictments, none of this other shit, and he would have probably been far stronger in terms of poll numbers compared to, say, Trump. Looking in the box, we'll keep it moving with William, or Betty, what? I tried to hit Ashley. All right, let's keep it moving. I don't know what I'm doing. Same mistake they made with Hillary Clinton. They picked someone with crazy baggage and got rocked. True. Good afternoon, William.
How's it going? Been a long time.
Good to have you back. Good to have you. The question we're asking today, Why nearly 3 years later is President Trump still refusing to accept the 2020 election results when everyone around him, including just about every Republican politician, is telling him he lost? Why won't he accept the results?
Because I wouldn't accept the results.
Why not?
Well, there's a lot of factors.
Give me some examples. Give me some examples.
Well, for the same fact that this guy is not doing nothing in office, and on top of that, oh, you kind of caught me off guard. I apologize.
That's okay. Take your time. We're asking, why won't he accept the results of the 2020 election? That's what's happening now. He's still saying he won by a landslide, even though all of his own administration, I don't think there's any Republican politician in the Senate or the House, maybe other than Marjorie Taylor Greene, that is telling Trump he won in 2020. Why won't he believe folks that are on his side telling him he lost?
Because a lot of people on his side hate the man, but love his policies.
So they're lying? So they're lying because they like the policies?
As far as, that's what I see. I don't really, half and half. I like Trump. I love his policies. I love the policies that we have people working and stuff. And on top of that, it was a big fraud, to be honest, because you got to figure, with all this stuff going bad, like the riots and all that, it just seemed that the good was going to win, the clean, not the filth. That's just my opinion.
What's the definition of the filth and what's the definition of the clean?
People actually been working. There was less crime. People lived in harmony, society.
How are you saying it's less crime when Trump was constantly chiding Democratic cities and crime in Chicago? The whole time he was in office, he was speaking ill of Democratic cities, saying they were crime-ridden.
Because the liberal mayors just gave up on the United States law to keep people safe.
So we didn't have lower crime. We had liberal mayors, according to you, overseeing big cities that were loaded with criminals.
Well, yeah, they kept passing laws to make to the point that they didn't want cops to go arrest people. They want laws to, you can go ahead and legalize marijuana, which me personally, I agree with in a way, because I'm a truck driver. I hate it because I can't, because it's federal, because I have a CDL.
So, so you support the legalization of marijuana. Did I hear that correct?
That's correct.
Why not vote liberal? Why not vote liberal? We would give you that.
Well, because voting liberal is like, voting for something I don't want other than just the marijuana. I mean, marijuana is, man, I smoked marijuana for 20 years. So really, I can't really hate it because I love it.
Do you consider yourself a law-abiding citizen?
Well, yeah, because I have a hazmat endorsement. I have to keep it.
Do you believe over the last 20 years where you're admitting to smoking marijuana, were you not breaking any laws during that time?
Well, yeah, because one, it made me paranoid. Two, I was afraid to carry it, because the stiff laws and stuff, and no one wants to go to jail, you know what I'm saying?
So, but you started out by saying you suggest that you're a law-abiding citizen because you have a CDL, but at the same time you admit you've been smoking marijuana for 20 years. How do those two things fit together?
It doesn't, because I kind of caught myself on that.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Yes and no. Can we put half 50-50?
You can't be halfway pregnant. Either you're a law-abiding citizen or you're not. You can't be halfway pregnant. Yeah, Louis Klein. Thanks for the hat and mustache. Are you high now? People in the comments are suggesting you're high right now.
I'm not high.
Okay.
I'm just a happy-go-lucky person, man. No, man, it's like this. Like, I enjoy the pot. I enjoy weed. I enjoy society. I enjoy the laws to protect others, that protected people. I enjoy that. You don't have to walk down the street and look behind your back like you have to do today.
But you're saying during the Trump administration, unlike now, you could walk down the street and not have to look behind your back. Where were you at?
Well, I was a truck driver, so really, even though you're around a group of people, you still have to defend yourself, look around, know people around you and stuff.
But you really think America was that much safer under Trump than it is under Biden? You really think crime was that much lower?
To a sense, maybe by a good 75%.
Wow.
Those at 25%. But if you go into major cities where you get go into a lot of crowds, the borders were closed in a sense of way that many people were crossing.
So I'm gonna ask you a question, because Tara in the comments asked a question that I was going to ask as well. Tara asked, how did Trump help with lowering crime? What did Trump do to make America safer?
I don't know, maybe try to be positive. Try to get people more or less.
How did Trump what did Trump do to, you're saying just being positive made people put down the guns and stop selling drugs. What did Trump do that was, as you said, trying to be positive? What was he doing? Take your time.
Really, other than through all the, it just felt safer, you know. It just felt with the closing of the borders.
It felt safer. So in other words, you don't really have anything tangible, but to you it felt safer. That sounds like you're voting based on emotion, William. I'm being told as a liberal, you shouldn't vote based on emotion. Vote based on what actually happened. You're saying it felt safer. But what did he actually do to make it safer?
You know, I really don't know, because I know you're allowed to speak your mind and stuff, though. There's just so much stuff coming in my brain right now. It's just like,
Okay.
I've just been smothered, you know?
Do you operate?
I don't want to make myself look like an ass.
Okay, that's not a problem here. Do you find yourself operating better maybe when you got the weed?
Than laughing? No.
All right, William. We don't. It's never an intention to make you look like an ass here. We never talk down to our guests. You can certainly speak your mind here. Don't worry about how you look. We just want to hear what's on your mind. But I do got to move it on. You're always welcome back. Don't worry about that, man.
One more thing.
Sure.
Last night, that guy from Nevada blew me away for knowing the Constitution.
Yeah, Real Money Jiggles. Real Money Jiggles. Very educated guest, considering he's from Ireland. Very educated guest. Appreciate you listening in last night. I got to go, though.
And I'm from Silver Springs, Maryland, and I don't even know it. And I live right there. I was born in D.C.
Yeah, his knowledge is awesome. Good conversation, man. Catch you on the next one. All right, looking in the comments. We love you, bro, says Ben. Thank you, and I appreciate having you folks here. Tap the screen. Show your boy some love. Get your boy up to about 75,000 likes, if you know what I mean. It's only about 700. Numbers dropped a little bit, 650, 700 of you in here, but I do appreciate you here. We'll keep it going. Ashley O'Mara. Good afternoon. Welcome to the program. Why won't Trump, nearly 3 years later?
What's going on?
Hey, good to have you. So 3 years later, 3 years later, what's going on? President Trump still does not believe he lost. 3 years later. You got an echo. Hang on. Are you on Bluetooth or something? You got an echo. Okay, I'm going to have to. Okay, Ashley, if you're listening, I don't know if you had me on Bluetooth or something, but turn your Bluetooth off. There was an echo, and there's no way I could conversate with you because I'm hearing my own conversation coming back at me. So clear that up and send it in again. We'll try and see if you've cleared it up this time, but there was a major echo. All right.
Hello?
Yeah, there we go. That's much better.
Okay, awesome. I'm so glad that you got me on here, man. I've been waiting for an hour, and I could not wait reading these comments. And I want to let you know right now, first of all, you're an excellent man. I love how in America we can have a disagreement, and neither one of us want to fucking kill each other. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Or nothing like that.
You
So
sound a hell of a lot better than what my ex said in divorce court. That sounds a lot better than my ex used to say. So appreciate
I
it.
do want to say this. I do want to make a point in this. I read a lot in the comments about people are saying like Biden. First of all, I want you to know that I don't believe that it's all President Biden's fault. There's somebody else running the country. It's not Biden. There's somebody behind the scenes that people don't think about.
You sound like MAGA. Who?
Man, that's a good question. Now listen, as far as the Trump thing goes, like, okay, I used to not like Trump, and I changed my mind, and let me tell you what changed my mind. So you've got Biden, our president now, who I don't feel very safe. I don't feel very safe. For instance, let me give you an example. The Taliban, President Trump was president. He sent the Taliban a picture of his house. And he's in an interview, and the interviewer asked President Trump, and he says, hey, you sent the Taliban the coordinates of his home. And he said, no, I sent him a picture of his house. I feel safe with that.
Have you seen what Biden has done to Putin? You don't think Biden got the picture of his adversary's home as well?
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. Don't get me wrong. I think America's like, come on over here, man. You know what I mean? We will blow some shit up. We're not afraid of that. But that's the thing is and this is one point I wanted to make, and I'm so glad you put me on here, is that they're trying to divide everybody right now.
Who is they?
By race.
Who is they?
Everybody. Well, whoever they are, you know they're doing a good job of it.
Let me ask you, under President Trump, did you see Trump as trying to unite us or divide us?
Honestly, I think it's all seemed like they're trying to divide us.
So Trump too.
Really, honestly.
So you see Trump as being divisive also.
Also, yeah, he's also got a lot of faults. And you asked a question earlier. You said, what would happen if Trump was to become in office? Would he go against the people that came against him? Because I noticed a lot of guys, president-elects on the news of a coming up election that would say, oh, I'll pardon Trump. Well, they're only saying that because they're feared that Trump's going to win and he's going to take out anybody who messes with him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you said you just started liking Trump. Do you want Trump reelected knowing that he may be a vengeful president?
Okay, now here's the thing. No, I don't.
Okay.
No, I don't. I do like Trump. I don't want a president that's going to go into office and be worried about who he's going to get back at.
So you don't think
I don't think that's a good idea at all.
So even though you do not favor Biden, you don't believe Trump should be reelected?
Well, I would have to know. Here's the thing with that, because the media lies to you. I have a woman that I'm very close with that went to the White House on January 6th. She was there. The media lies to you. So everybody needs to understand that. Like, you know, I don't really know what went on there. I wasn't personally there, but I can tell you, my friend that went there said that it's all a lie. That's not what happened.
When did you When did you start liking Trump?
The day I started liking Trump was the first time I liked him is usually whenever a leader or some kind of important person in another country is taken out. Usually the president, you know, it's all politics. Usually the president will get on the news. We're investigating this. We're trying to figure this out, you know, whatever. And so I like Trump whenever he got on the news. He's not a politician. Now, I'm not saying that what he's doing is right. I'm not agreeing with, you know, a lot of, everybody's like, oh, yeah, she's a racist Trump supporter. You know what I mean? Like, it's just ridiculous. But I can go on facts and stuff I've seen and where I...
When did you start liking him, though? Because you made it sound like you didn't like him at first, then you started. What made you start liking Trump?
I thought he was kind of cocky at first, and I was kind of worried of him having the numbers to the nuclear bombs. I was kind of like, oh shit, you know, this dude's gonna get mad and just bomb the whole, you know what I mean? Who knows? That's how I felt about it.
I get all of that, but when did you start liking him?
Well, I don't know how much trouble this is gonna get me in, but here we go. So I was watching the news one day, and he came on the news, and some leader, and somebody might in the comments start talking shit, so maybe they'll correct me. But he said some leader had been killed in another country. I can't remember exactly what it was. He got on the news, And he said, well, and you're thinking he's going to say something else, but he said, well, I followed him for 3 days and he was up to no good, so I drone bombed him. Now, I want you to know something. I feel safer with the president like that. I feel safe with a president that goes on national TV and says, I sent the Taliban a picture of his house. Now, I feel a lot safer than Biden, who can't even walk or talk or finish a sentence.
So you've stated on several different pieces of our conversation, the most favorable thing you find in Trump is that he either threatens people or kills people. Is that the most?
Well, I mean, that's it. That is one way to look at it, absolutely. But you've got to look at the world we're living in right now. Like, these people are mad at America. Like, you know, these other countries are not happy with us, so I don't blame them.
So, but then I have to ask you, if you like people who make threats and kills people, how did you feel about Obama when he killed bin Laden?
I mean, look, here's the thing with that, and I guess I think a lot differently than most people, but I don't trust a lot of things I'm told by the news. I do believe he killed, you know, the terrorists you're talking about. I do completely believe that. And I'm very proud of that. You know what I mean? That's awesome.
How did it make you feel?
I'm not proud of death. I'm not proud of death. I'm not saying that you should kill people and that's the answer. However, I feel a lot more secure with a president that is going to be standing up for Americans, and I'm sorry.
But you're not, I get your point, and that's fine, but I'm asking you, when Barack Obama got on television, just like Trump, and stated that he killed somebody, did it make you suddenly feel proud that Obama was president? Fuck. I don't even know how to respond. Now, for some reason, she got taken out of the program. She didn't deserve to be banned. This is happening too often. I'm really wanting to find a different avenue to run these type of live streams. Too many callers are getting banned. I don't see where she said anything that should have gotten her banned. Nothing at all. She favors Trump. She favors Trump for specific things that he actually did. Why should she have been banned? Now, obviously, that was a liberal ban. I'm not going to... Either TikTok banned her or somebody liberal decided to write in and ban her. There's no way in hell I believe a Trump supporter would have banned her for what she was saying. This stuff really pisses me off because it is difficult to have civilized dialogue from both sides when nobody wants to let other people speak. I really hate it. Looking in the comments, she said Biden is not ruling, someone else is conspiracy. They say that about every president. That shouldn't... How many folks suggested that Obama was a puppet for the Clintons? Or that Bush was a puppet for Dick Cheney? That shouldn't get you banned from social media for saying that. That is very mild to get taken off of social media, most likely banned for 3 days or a week or whatever the hell they do. That is very mild for that to happen. Dems allow censorship. I'm not going to simply make it sound like that if you don't like censorship, you should leave the Democratic Party and go Republican. I mean, I saw what happened to Bud Light, the apparel being sold in Target. Censorship is on both sides. I don't like it no matter how it's being done. But I'm not going to pretend like it's only Democrats that do it. Everybody claims they're for free speech until you say some shit they don't like. Both sides do that. You think there's not a reason why all the Republican contenders don't want to talk about Trump being indicted? You think they don't fear what might happen if they exercise their free speech rights? You're not going to escape this shit by voting Republican. I just want to tell you that. It just morphs into something different. But both sides don't want you saying what the hell you want to say. I'm just so pissed off. Looking in the comments, I said the work kill crucifying me. I don't know. Ashley, put in a appeal. They might let you back in pretty damn quick because you didn't do anything. You didn't say anything that would... I've had guests on saying things that I was like, I better get this person off because they're going to get banned. I've had guests say the N-word. I've had guests say some real hard QAnon shit. That didn't happen in our last discussion. I heard some things that may have flagged the Q sounding end of the crowd, but it didn't go that far. She shouldn't have been banned. Looking in the comments, she used kill multiple times. All right, so did I. I didn't get banned. I followed up by repeating her words. You like people that, injure, kill. I use the same damn word. I didn't get banned. Say unalive instead of, yeah. All right. Bud Light and Target were not censored. We did not agree with what they are doing and stop buying. You use cancel culture. If you want to stop buying Bud Light, that's one thing. Shooting cans of Bud Light on social media, that's taking it a bit further. They went further than just not buying the product. So cancel culture applies on both sides. It's not just Democrats. Republicans just have a different way of doing it, but they'll cancel your ass too. The fear of speaking out about President Trump is a perfect example of that. The entire Republican Party believes that he didn't win in 2020. Yet virtually none of them are speaking out and telling them, dude, you lost, just get over it, you're hurting the party. None of them are saying that because they fear what'll happen if they exercise their free speech rights. So it happens on both sides. Your hat is on fire. I don't see any fire on the MAGA hat, but I like to comment. They banned her TikTok, was tired of her lying. I don't believe it was TikTok. I believe it was TikTok users reporting her. That's what makes Trump a terrible leader. He never does what's right. I wouldn't say he never does what's right. There's a lot of things he's done that I disagree with. I think are problematic, illegal, but never. I don't agree with the word never. Looking in the comments. That pissed me off, that band did. Mark Meadows is scared to even come back to North Carolina for being a rat. Shit. You got a lot of Republicans that are fearful of going out in public now because of President Trump. Mike Pence, even though he has Secret Service protection, the biggest danger to Mike Pence is MAGA. If Mike Pence was taken out, it's not a liberal. Mike Pence is in more danger from MAGA. Lindsey Graham, Mitch McConnell, Mitt Romney, all of these folks, their biggest fear is MAGA. It's not liberals, it's MAGA. So it's kind of makes me wonder if Trump got reelected, what would the Republican Party be like? Because I talk to MAGA every day. You guys don't like any of the Republican senators or Congress, other than maybe Matt Gaetz and Marjorie Taylor Greene. Some of you like George Santos, of all people, but most of the Republican Party is now being referred to as outsiders. Trump came in, and everybody that was in the house all of a sudden became guests. It's my house now. Get the fuck out. That's what has happened. Trump came in the house, and suddenly everybody no longer live here. All of you guys are now guests. If Trump gets reelected, I don't know what'll happen with that party. Not talking about the Democrats. You're supposed to hate the Democrats. That's fine. But it is the Republican Party that has become incredibly divided under President Trump, which leads me to ask the obvious question. If he gets reelected, how do you expect him to accomplish his signature promises when nobody in the party is working with him, or he's calling everybody in the party rhinos and traitors? Is he going to do it all by executive action? I'd be curious to see. Funny how you won't acknowledge any of the facts that are in the comments. Jake Bark, running a free speech program over a year. Everybody knows I let both sides of the aisle talk. If I don't acknowledge your comments, I don't see the shit. Period. We don't have time to run from comments here. We prefer to hear them. We come in the box and orate it out your way you want to. We don't limit or censor your time. Nobody's running from your comment. But if it makes you feel better, You can have that. Let's go with the one and only. Aquafina Squirter. Always brings it hard. This is indeed MAGA.
My favorite little raccoon.
I thought you were somebody else.
Also.
I thought you were somebody else. Okay. Okay. Why won't Trump accept that he lost the 2020 election?
Because he's special.
What
He's a
is,
damn orangutan. What the hell? He's stupid. Do you know the mafia, the real legit mafia, told him that he's not even a real criminal? That he's not even a real criminal. No, a mafia dude, an ex-mafia said it. Lord have mercy.
they
God, I'll tell you how special you are.
said he's,
Can't even be. He talks too much.
so you saying he's special. How do you respond to folks who say Biden is out of his mind?
Okay, if Biden was so out of his mind, why is he passing everything? Why is he doing that? He's just quiet. See, this is how stupid the MAGA rejects are. The Trump, rejects. Because he don't have to sit there and talk and talk and talk and show anything. He don't play his cards like that. He has aces in the hole. And look how he's been doing. He don't need to talk. He's been going and doing it and doing it. Everything he said he was going to do, he did.
I got a counterpoint. I got a counterpoint to that. I will submit to you. Let's say everything you're saying is true. Where Biden
You
is.
know it's true.
Okay, that's fine. Let's suggest that that Biden is doing as well as you're saying, but he's not talking and talking. Biden's poll numbers are pretty damn low. Maybe he should be talking. Hold on. Hang on. His poll numbers are very low for compared to who he's running against. His poll numbers are low.
Okay, can I tell you something? And this is 2023, sweetheart. The ones that you could, the megas that are worried about Gen Z, they don't take polls. Gen Z loves Biden. I don't take a poll. I have a cell phone. We don't need to take polls. We know what we're going to do. We don't listen to those polls. You know what the blue does? We go stand down in line and we vote. That's what blue does. We don't get on here, do mega hats, and go to all these rallies. We're not stupid. We go straight to the polls.
Well, the point I was going to make, though, is that I believe Biden would be a hell of a lot more favorable if he was talking constantly like Trump and letting folks know what he actually is accomplishing.
He does.
No, he doesn't.
But he don't go out there. He does. He tells it. He does. See, the people don't listen. Because people want all the Trump. Oh, my God, he's this, he's that. The orangutan, we don't want his ass. Good God.
The man got 70,000+ votes. You don't think that he has a lot of popularity?
Not really. Those are the rejects, sweetheart. Those are the ones that can't even spell right. Those are the ones that are smoking meth. Okay? You know what I mean? Those are the ones that are doing the damn thing. They don't know how to comprehend anything. You know what? How stupid these people are? They complain about the inflation, but they're the ones that are voting for them.
You're not suggesting that 70 million Americans are all rejects, are you?
No, I'm praying on God, because I know a couple of Republicans that are going blue this time. Okay, I'm praying that there's some good Republicans out there that see that Trump is a whole hot mess and he's smoking something more than, you know what I mean? Because he's turning orange on us. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm praying, Lord, I'm praying. We got some of those Republicans that say, you know what? They're the good Republicans.
Let me ask you this. During the first 2 years of Trump's term before the pandemic, how were you doing economically? How were you doing personally economically under Trump?
I almost lost my when COVID hit, I almost lost my restaurant. You know why? Because that dumb shithead didn't believe it.
Now, that ain't what I asked you, though. That's not what I said before the pandemic. I said before the pandemic.
That was Obama. That wasn't Trump. First 2 years, that was Obama.
So you don't.
Can't lie.
So you don't give.
Can't lie. That was Obama.
So because Obama left Trump a good economy, which I agree with, you don't give him any credit at all for the first 2 years of his own presidency.
No, that was a black man that did that, not the Trumpy. The last 2 years, that was the whole.
That's not fair, because if Trump had.
It's too fair.
Let me tell you why I say that. If Trump had got elected with Obama's good economy and he fucked it up, you'd blame him for it. But when he kept it the same and it was a nice economy, you don't give him any credit. That's not fair.
If he kept it the same, I would give him credit. But that mofo didn't keep it the same. The toilet paper went up. We was losing people left and right. You know how many people was losing their jobs, losing everything? There was lines for days to get food. Under who?
Yeah, but
Orange orangutan.
Okay.
Right. You know I'm being real. Now, come on.
Now,
It's that liberal side of you coming out.
Okay.
You know I'm being real.
Okay, I want to ask you one question. This is coming off of YouTube because somebody said can you say one good thing about President Trump?
Hell no. No.
Not one good thing. 4 years in office, not one good.
thing. Okay, I can tell you one good thing. He rocks orange very good. That's the only damn thing. I cannot say nothing. He's nasty. He's a racist. He's a no good for nothing, and he's trash. Look what he did. Look what he's done to this country. He stole our secrets, and they still want that orange orangutan in office. The blue wave's coming. I'm telling you, it's gonna be menopause.
Oh my
Menopause
God.
is coming. You know you love me. Me and you need to be a co-host one day. But you know why? Because I'm a true liberal. You are in between. Because you like to hear the orangutan looking lies. That's what you like to hear. Yeah, you come on now. You let this sit here and orangutan your ass and say, oh, this is this and this is this. No. No, the blue wave, baby, is coming.
All right.
You know Gen Z's coming. So don't listen to these polls. Gen Z's coming. Gen Z's coming. Yep.
Give me before you go. You suggested that Trump is a racist. I need you to. What makes you say that? What makes you say that?
Really? You're a black man. You're asking me? Ooh, Lordy have mercy. Lord have mercy.
I gotta ask you because you said it.
Africa the shithole. Okay? Africa the shithole. He said that how many damn times? Then he said that he told them that you need to roughen up the men that get in the back of the cars, of the police cars.
He did say that. Yeah,
Look in their head. Okay? He did say that. You don't think these black conservatives, they oh Lord have mercy, don't let me go on that piss, honey. Let me tell you. Because you know.
All right. Okay. All right. I gotta move it.
That's why I think he's racist. He don't like Mexicans. He don't even like the poor white people. And the poor white people's voting for his dumb ass. He likes the rich white people. That's what he likes. The rich white people.
Wow.
The poor little regular feeders. And you know what? Those are the ones that need Jesus. They need Jesus. Because you know why? Because they voted against their own damn interests. They say, oh, he's the savior. He's Orange Jesus. But what is Orange Jesus doing for them? Hell, nothing.
All right, I gotta move it on. But any chance I can get you to take a picture with a MAGA hat on?
Hell no. I couldn't be in the same car with the Trumpster. I would, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, honey. I'll be honest with you, okay? I own dispensaries and I own one restaurant, okay? When a Trumpster's in there, I promise you, they're my customer, but I have to walk away. Because when they start talking about mega stuff, my mouth wants to open up so bad.
What if let me give you a completely fictional scenario. Probably will never happen. You broke down on the side of the road. You realize you don't have a jack in your car to change the tire. You can't get a signal to call AAA. Someone pulls up next to you and they got Trump flags and a MAGA hat on. You need me to change your tire, lady. Would you allow?
No, I'll have my pew pew with me because they would shoot me. They don't like my color. You feel me? Hell no. I don't feel safe with MAGA. Hell no. No, honey. Black and brown people, we don't go.
Okay.
Oh, when they have those, oh, honey, oh, I tell you, baby, I'll be like, oh, hell no, get my pew. I'm not going to be, I ain't going to lie today.
Trump could not. So you're saying you would not even let a Trump supporter help you out doing a
Hell no. No, hell no. Because you know why? They might pew me. They don't like me. Let's be honest.
But how can you have that mindset where you're referring to Trump as racist, but you're grouping all MAGA up like this? How can you have that mindset by calling Trump a racist when you're doing that?
I'm not, because you know why? I'm not a racist. I fear for it because MAGA is racist. Look what they're doing. They're taking Black history out. They're going against LGBTQ. That is racist right there. You're not safe around them.
All right.
You're not safe. Let's be real. No, you know what? This is what's wrong with people. They sugarcoat it. They want to say, oh, they're good people. And no, if you walk like a duck, you talk like a duck, quack, quack, you a duck. And you're a racist one at it. Now, if I was an Omega, then I would be one. But I don't believe in being that way. You feel me?
All right.
People are safe with me. I ain't going to pew-pew them for the color of their skin.
All right, I got to move it on. I get.
I'm just being 100%. I don't sugarcoat nothing.
I
No,
see that.
don't.
I see
No,
that.
I don't.
Okay, I got to go.
No, you know.
All
I
right.
love you though.
Always good to talk to you. All right, look it in the comments. Quack, quack, mother, says Thomas Hamilton. Wow, handsome, you're tripping. You know this woman is right. Well, look, I let the people speak. I don't agree with everything she said. I'm going to tell you that right off the bat. I'm not going to believe that 70 million people are all idiots, racists, and backwards. I mean, there's legitimate reasons to vote for both sides of the aisle. Same thing I tell folks on the right that ask, why the hell would you vote for Biden? There are legitimate reasons to vote for either Trump or Biden. You may not agree with them, but that doesn't make the person crazy or off their rocker. There are legitimate reasons to vote for either person. Depends on what your principles are. So I don't buy into the notion that all folks on the right are bad and all the liberals are good, or vice versa. I believe there are legitimate reasons on both sides. Looking in the comments, I feel I just got cornered by a crackhead at the gas pump listening to her. Brandon, that is bad. Damn, that's not nice. Be nice to the guests. The lady cut your view account in half, so low IQ. Ha ha ha, how is she a business owner? Well, my audience is primarily MAGA. I prefer talking to MAGA. I say that all the time, but liberals are welcome as well. She is obviously anti-MAGA. You don't want to hear her talk. I get it. The audience is going to drop when somebody is speaking ill of President Trump. Even Trump himself stated, people don't like to hear bad things about me. Look at folks who the Republicans favored that have recently started talking bad about President Trump. People, they have lost their voter count as well. Look what happened to the numbers for, say, Mike Pence. Or freaking, you name the Republican, John McCain, think about all of the Republican nominees for president in your lifetime. John McCain, Mitt Romney, the Bush family, George W. Bush, George H.W. Bush. All of their popularity has dropped because of President Trump, because they got on the wrong side of President Trump. So Trump is correct in stating people don't like to hear bad things about me. If you say something bad about Trump to a Trump supporter, your popularity is going to drop. Doesn't matter if it's true or not. People do not like hearing bad things about President Trump. If you don't believe me, and you certainly don't have to take my word on it, name one Republican that has said bad things about Trump, that is routinely criticizing Trump, that has not lost popularity in the Republican Party. Just one. Name one Republican that was fairly popular, well respected, that is now criticizing Trump and still has his respect. None of them. You lose it. Now in the comment section, somebody is suggesting that Mitt Romney has lost a hell of a lot of respect. Are you kidding me? You believe Mitt Romney, former Republican nominee for president, you think he still has all of that support? I don't remember how many votes Mitt Romney got when he ran against Barack Obama in 2012 for president. I guarantee his numbers, his support would not be that strong now. He's lost a hell of a lot of support by suggesting that Trump should be impeached. Not one Republican that has criticized Trump has maintained their popularity. All of them have lost popularity by criticizing Trump. Some of them lost their entire damn careers. Liz Cheney, perfect example. Congresswoman Liz Cheney. She would have been Congresswoman as long as she wanted to be. She could have rode off into the sunset. She could have been just like, not Mitch McConnell, the Kentucky senator. I can't think of his name right now. But she could have been just like that, and she could have served until she wanted to pass away damn near in office. Got into an argument with Trump. Look at her now. She's no longer in office at all. She was highly respected. So the idea that you can criticize Trump and maintain your position of integrity with the Republican Party is a farce. Man, you start talking about him, your days are numbered. Ron DeSantis was a rock star until he got on the wrong side of Trump. Now he's in jeopardy of completely being kicked out of politics altogether. We're not even certain at this point, despite his huge margin of victory last year, that he could even get reelected as governor of Florida. He has fell that far from grace. No way in hell he'll be president. He may not even become governor again because he got on the wrong side of President Trump. If he simply had have continued being the governor of Florida and endorsing Trump, his popularity would probably be fivefold right now with the Republican Party. Simply because he got on the wrong side of President Trump. And last week when he got on television and said Trump lost the election, the little bit of popularity he had left has oozed out of him. He's had to hire and fire 3 different campaign managers because none of them can find out why his numbers keep dropping. People don't like to hear bad shit about President Trump. Trump was, if you want to put on your Trump was right hat, now is the time. Criticizing President Trump is bad for your career as a Republican. It really is. Hell, it's not even safe as a Democrat to do that shit. But as a Republican, it is a career ender. It is bad to criticize President Trump. Looking in the comments, it's what he has done to Florida, not Trump. Tina Thomas, I strongly believe, in regards to what Ron DeSantis has done to Florida, as you're putting it, if he was endorsing Trump, and Trump was saying that this is what we need because the LGBT community is, you know, taking us away from Christian values, or sometimes you got to give a little to get what you need, I don't think what he's doing to Florida will be hurting him as bad. I think it's more along the lines of his loss of endorsement from President Trump. I don't believe, even though he is doing a lot to Florida, I'm not disagreeing with you. I think that what he is doing to Trump is considerably worse for his career than what he's doing to Florida. Looking in the comments, I'm MAGA and Trump ain't our best candidate. Pops, Q33. Don't say that too loud. Your whole house might catch fire. Anyhow, folks, I do appreciate you rolling with your boy. It is a lunch break live. You know what I have to do around this time. My numbers did drop. That was crazy. But some people don't like hearing bad things about Trump. Aquafina is always welcome back on the program. We don't run an echo chamber here. You're going to hear positive and negative shit about all aspects of politics. There are plenty of other sources, other pages on social media that you can attend if you want to hear echo chambers. Places you can go where liberals are all criticizing President Trump, or everybody in the box has on a red hat. We don't do that here. We go left of Bernie Sanders all the way to I'm having dinner with QAnon. We do believe in people having the right to speak. Everybody's not going to like that. Everybody doesn't do that. But we try to make it happen here. And if you do enjoy that without being banned, blocked, or censored, yeah, follow the program. And I see in the comments, William says, you like playing with snakes. Are they liberal snakes? Republican snakes? I'm in the middle, so I get bitten by both sides. I keep my anti-venom always on tap. Nevertheless, I appreciate the 83,000 likes. Appreciate you folks tapping the screen, showing your boy some love. You know what we always do around this time. It's your boy Tim, the handsome liberal. I gotta go. YouTube. Appreciate you folks watching your boy on YouTube. For any of you folks wondering where is the calls coming from, it's on TikTok. So if you watch it on TikTok, which is where my face is normally aimed at and where I'm focused on. And it's a better camera, so the optics are a little bit better, but I believe there's a way on YouTube that I can actually take folks live. I got to figure it out. I haven't figured that out yet, but when I do, hopefully I can talk to some of you folks that watch me now on YouTube live as well. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, the few folks that are watching, this is what we do. LB, Later Hanson, appreciate that. Thank you. Good, glad to have you watching. So we'll catch you guys later. I got to get back to my 9 to 5. It's been a pleasure. Catch you later.